Hello everyone and welcome back to Service for the Community. I'm Matt Herron, and as always I have some guests with me today who are leaders or members of their organizations who have come to tell us a little bit about what they've been up to and what's going on with their groups. Over here to my right, I'll start on the far side with Stan Garwood. Welcome to the show, Stan.
Thank you.
Stan is part of the North Oakland Disaster Relief Team, also commonly known as No Dirt. They do a lot of disaster relief work. And sitting to his left is Julie Nemeth, who is part of Habitat for Humanity in Clarkson. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you.
She as well has been doing some really cool things, building some homes, and would like to tell us a little bit about their mission. So let's start with Stan down here on the far end. I know that there was some flooding in Warren recently. This was one of the more recent projects that No Dirt went and helped out with. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we normally we take 2 trips a year to address any natural disaster in the United States, and for the first time in our history, our 16-year history, we were asked to go down to Warren, that area, Royal Oak, Ferndale, but we ended up servicing some of the homes in Warren. Because of the flooding, the basements, the water in the basements, they had a mold problem, and so you have to get, so our job, because we came in right after the flooding, was to remove all the wet stuff, remove the wet drywall, power wash, and then spray it with mold killer. And so we did.
Sounds like some kind of dirty work, you know.
That mucking out. That's called mucking out houses, and it is the worst, hardest, dirtiest work that we ever do.
Sure.
But we did 40 houses, or over 40 houses, when we were down there for a week, and we probably will be going back there again pretty soon. Our next trip is scheduled for May, but it looks like we're going to be going down there earlier than that.
Okay, cool. Well, definitely a good cause to be a part of, and I'm sure all those families and people that had their homes flooded appreciated you guys coming out.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Julie, why don't you tell us a little bit about, what is the mission of Habitat for Humanity, and specifically in Clarkson? What is your mission?
Well, I'm with My Habitat Clarkson. We're a new pilot project for Habitat for Humanity, where our mission, our vision is actually that there's going to be no member of our community that will be with that needs resources to serve or be served will serve. We'll have all those resources available. What we've been doing lately is we focus on 2 impact days a year right now, spring and fall, where we send out our database of volunteers to go out to our community and work on service projects. However, in the interim, if there are projects that need to be done, sidewalk repair, wheelchair ramp, yard cleanup, whatever it may be, we can recruit and send out our volunteers on a daily basis as needed.
That's awesome.
That's really great, yes.
It's nice to hear that we have that in Clarkson.
Yeah.
I don't know that every community has representation for Habitat.
No, we are running a pilot project for the state of Michigan to see if taking the Habitat, which everybody knows, Habitat for Humanity brand.
Everyone knows Habitat, right.
They know it as a build project. We're taking that down to a grassroots level and saying we want to maintain our habitat and have a great habitat, which is building the homes, the hope, and community as a whole.
Right. Well, and if successful, I'm sure a lot of other communities would like to kind of start something like that for their own.
Actually, people are looking at us. We've gotten a call from Rochester, and they're interested in replicating what we're doing here in Clarkston.
Very cool.
We're trying to get some momentum going for the same thing in Rochester.
That's great.
Yes, it's really great that we're setting the pace.
For other cities.
Yeah, we're setting the pace in Clarkston.
That's excellent.
It is really excellent.
Now, Stan, No Dirt, I know you guys were in Warren, but this isn't just like a local effort. You guys do work all over the country, is that correct?
That's correct. We're set up to meet or to address any natural disaster, to help out the people that can't afford, that don't have insurance, or underinsured. And so we've been to, when Katrina hit, we were there many times. And so that was Mississippi and New Orleans. We've been to, and those were hurricanes, but we hit Virginia, Newport News, that was Hurricane Floyd. But in Henryville, Indiana, we hit came in after the tornado came through there. Flooding in Marcellus, Illinois. Wherever, whatever a natural disaster hits, that's where we go in and we help out.
That's very cool. Mm-hmm. I actually, when I was in college, had the opportunity to go down to New Orleans, and I helped rebuild homes as well after the hurricanes. Wow. And we also worked with like some schools that had been condensed because a lot of the schools have been wiped out, and so like they were tons of students in like one school and weren't getting a lot of one-on-one attention. I know they also like had a lot of animal shelters that needed help, and those volunteer trips, they're just it really warms your heart to like go down there and help people because they need so much, and every hand kind of helps. That's great that you've got to be a part of some like bigger disaster relief efforts as well. Now, in terms of like the locations that you're doing, do you kind of find those on your own? You just hear about things on the news and then actively pick where you're going to go? Who kind of alerts you of stuff?
Well, normally we go to there are some disaster relief sites now on the computer. When we first started off, we had to find our own places to go. We'd find out that there was a disaster, a hurricane hit here, or a tornado, or flooding here or there. But now there are disaster relief sites that we can go to on the computer, and they will link us up with a community. And a lot of times there are community organizations that are together, that have gotten their act together, and they've come together and they found the funding that they needed through either FEMA or through other sources to buy the materials and to organize the equipment. And so we'll contact them, and a lot of times they'll have housing for us. Usually we do our own food and our own transportation, and we go in and start working.
Cool.
But on the other hand, it does take a while to find the different places and to organize the trips. But and usually this is a grassroots kind of thing. Usually you're staying, like when we were in Marcellus, we were staying at a Baptist camp, and the Rotary was providing lunches for us. All the different churches cooked dinners for us, and everybody was working together. All the different people in the community provided different services that helped us to do our work.
Sure.
It's
in my experience, they are usually very helpful about like finding places for people to stay and stuff, because you're down there volunteering your time and stuff. Right. And that is nice that you can kind of find some of these sites and stuff even in slower times where like you can still be active and help out people who need help. Mm-hmm. I do want to get to in a minute, how we can reach out to some of these groups, and we'll kind of wrap our show that way. Julie, I know that one of the projects Habitat's working on right now is a home that's being built for a veteran, is that right?
Correct. We work under the auspices of Habitat for Humanity of Oakland County. Mm-hmm. So because we do that, as they find property in Clarkson, Davisburg area that can be built upon or refurbished, they contact us, My Habitat Clarkston group, for fundraising and volunteer support. And we do have a build currently for a woman by the name of Shannon. Mm-hmm. She has 3 children that will be entering the Clarkston School District. She's an Army veteran, working full-time as social work for Bethany Christian Services. She simply needs a home, an affordable mortgage. So that's what the Habitat program is. We build homes with no-profit mortgages that the homeowner assumes. Okay. So we're doing that in Springfield Township, and we're very, very near the end of the build. We have 5 volunteer days left. And then we're in the last phase of fundraising. We needed to raise $130,000 for the property and all of the materials for the home, and we are about $20,000 short at this point.
So almost there.
Almost there, but we
Almost
we're screaming out to the community. Anything that you can give, we're
Sure.
screaming. I don't care if it's $25 or if you're blessed to have more available to distribute, $1,000 we could take to give Shannon and her 3 children a home. And you can donate on the HabitatOakland.org site. Just designate to My Habitat Clarkston.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah, we do have the website up here on the screen for those of you out there who are listening, who can lend a hand to that. Independence Television actually has done some coverage of the event. We've got to see firsthand the walls going up on this house. The woman who's being helped out is a fantastic woman, has 3, they're all adopted children, is that right?
They're all her children.
They're all her children, yeah. And we're just giving a home to someone that really deserves it. So hopefully, those watching can
we really want
get
this
involved.
home to be a symbol, collective symbol of everybody from our community. That's why if you have $10, $25, it will be a symbol of what we are as Clarkson Davisburg together.
And that's what the show kind of is figuring out how we can help out, people in the community, just like Stan and No Dirt. It takes volunteers and it takes people's hands to go out there and work on these projects. Stan, there is an email address, I think it was, that you wanted to list to if people are interested in helping out with No Dirt.
Right. That's Dr. Midgley, DRMIDGLEY at Comcast.net.
At Comcast.net. Okay, great. If anyone out there is interested in going on a trip or to do some volunteer work, or you're local and you can just help out with the home that's being built, both really good causes to get involved in. Is there anything else either of you would like to add for our listeners?
I would like to add, if you're interested in volunteering on a daily basis here just in our Clarkson-Davisburg community and our habitat, the Clarkson Chamber of Commerce maintains our volunteer database. So if you go on their homepage, clarkson.org, there's an icon there for My Habitat Clarkson. Click on that and then you can put in your name to be part of our volunteer database.
Cool.
And I would like to add that we are looking for volunteers. Mainly that's exactly what we need, more people. As you can see, there's a lot of work out there. Here in Michigan, we're going to be sending some groups probably on some weekends, which we don't normally do because usually we travel to the site and it's usually far away. But we're going to probably, because it's so close, we're going to probably do some weekends, and for sure we're going to do a trip in May, and that will be either a half week or a whole week if somebody wants to volunteer. And of course, because it's close, you can volunteer for one day or you can volunteer for the whole week. But we are definitely looking for volunteers. So if you want to contact us on that website, on that email site, that would be great.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both for joining us on the show today. It's nice to hear what Habitat and No Dirt are up to. And we'll kind of stay in touch with you guys to hear about the progress with these events.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.